All right. This is a response to a video that Chris the truck driver put out. I don't usually respond to just random people I find on YouTube, but I found this video so hysterical that I felt I had to respond to it. Chris has posted a lot of videos, mostly on religion and the healthcare debate. And I'm not going to respond to all of his videos. I'm picking two, the one on health savings accounts in particular, because Chris doesn't understand what he's talking about, and I want to correct him to be nice. And another one that he put out about healthcare. I think it's the first one he made because I'm not going to respond to all of them. So I'm going to pick the first one he did to make a general response. But anyway, this video is to respond to his assessment of health savings accounts. And Chris does a basic job of explaining them with missing probably the most entertaining part. But anyway, a health savings account, and I say this in another video, a health savings account is an account that kind of works like an IRA. You save money tax-free into an account to pay for your medical expenses for a year. The max, I think, is $2,900 for an individual and $5,600 for a family, I want to say. And tax-free, and like I said, it works like an IRA. You save the money, you use it to pay for health expenses, and in most states, not in my state of Illinois, I just found this out tonight, which is hysterical. In most states, you can roll it over for the next year. In Illinois, you can't. Don't know why. Probably some fucking HMO didn't want them to do it. But the theory is that, yes, as Chris points, in your young years, for most people, you can save money and then save it for when you get into your 40s and 50s, when you're going to need to pay more out of pocket. You'll have the money. But Chris gets one thing completely wrong at the end of his video, and that's the first thing I'll comment on. In particular, and Chris, this is just to clarify, a health savings account is legally required to be attached to a high deductible insurance plan. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that when you enroll in the health savings account, you also have to pay for a high deductible plan. And most people would know what a high deductible plan is that you have to pay a lot of money out of pocket before the plan will kick in and cover anything. And Chris uses the example at the end of his video of why he doesn't like health savings accounts, because he says, you know, a broken leg will cost $17,000, and he says that most people, if they even save up money, one accident could wipe them out. Well, no, Chris, that's not how the system works. You're required to be enrolled in a high deductible plan, which of course is a cheaper premium every month than a regular insurance policy. And so the idea is that you put money into the health savings account, and you pay the maximum out of pocket, which can be quite high. Obviously, I think it's no higher than $5,000. But again, the theory behind this is that when you get the broken leg, as Chris points out, you only pick up $5,000 from your health savings account, and then the high deductible plan picks up the rest. And because you're not nickel and diming them with every little medical expense, they're not going to be as bloodthirsty to drop you from the program as a regular HMO is. So Chris, again, you get this completely wrong. I would encourage you to do more research before you talk about something. It helps. And also another couple of misconceptions he pointed out there. He says that the Bush administration pushed this. Not really. Okay, healthcare reform was never a big policy, the Bush administration. They tried something at the beginning, and I know that they thought of health savings account. But Chris, I would like to point out that it was the Bush administration that let health savings accounts, the growth of health savings accounts expire, and I believe it was 2007. So if George Bush was pushing these, you know, again, why was it? And I'd say, again, the financial crisis didn't have anything to do with it. The Bush administrations, when they tried to reform healthcare, it was very early in George Bush's first term, I want to say 2002, but when you would have been more correct to say that when we got involved in Iraq, that plan went out the window because the country focused on Iraq. So again, another misconception there. But again, I would just say that Chris is missing. Oh, another thing that Chris says is about for people. Another funny thing I thought that was hysterical that you mentioned, Chris, is that young people out of college who are just going to start working and don't have a lot of money are going to jump to have kids. You know, I find that funny. I'm about to graduate college in about 6 months, and I just like to point out that I'm not running out the door to have children. I don't know many college graduates that have thousands of dollars in loans like I do, who they say, well, the first thing I'm going to do is start a family. No, that makes no sense, Chris. I don't deny that young people will have children, and I'm certainly not saying that isn't the case, but I'd say that would be more of the exception rather than the norm. Again, I don't know many of my friends that say, well, I can get out and get a job, but I just want to pop a few kids out first. So don't really understand that. And again, and then the last thing Chris states, his last problem with it is that he states that young people that can be sick won't be able to build up these accounts. Again, if you're having something critically wrong with you. You're attached to high deductible, so it's at least not bankrupting you. I'd say yes. In this theory, this program can be hard for people that are sick, but I would argue that any insurance plan is going to be hard for someone when they're sick, because if you're on a regular HMO insurance, they'll probably drop you after the first major thing, and then you have no insurance, and then you're on Medicaid, drawing more from the public till. So again, I don't deny that that's a problem, but that's a problem that we already have in the system, and that's a problem that we really can't correct except through charity. So I don't see it as a valid reason for opposing health savings accounts. But anyway, this is just to correct that a couple of things with Chris, because he didn't explain a health savings account correctly, and I just wanted to correct him on it. So yeah.